So things are going all to hell. I just spent 55 minutes and 56 seconds. I'm not even joking. That's what I said on the timer. On the phone with the internet server, the phone company, the internet company, and resolved nothing. But we were able to get on. Do we even? Just check this for a second.
The needle in the haystack.
Okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Where do I begin? We got a few minutes to kill here. So on the business report, they're saying something about this is the largest blah 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 since we found out about COVID in March of 2020. Now, if you remember this station, you may not remember, but this station told us about on approximately December 21st, 2019, that the Public Health Agency of, I should click this, Public Health Agency of Canada is on the ground in Wuhan, China, to deal with some outbreak of, damn it, there we go, of some, that doesn't seem that important anymore, does it? Horrible infectious type of pneumonia, blah, 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 blah. That was December, I believe, 21st, 2019 was the first we heard about it, and my response was, this is going to be big. And I'm so sorry I cursed this all. I can't quite see myself what this looks like. I'm kind of going for the rubber bands to just weave in with the hair. The gas price.
The beginning of the end of a 14-year legal challenge. In 2016, the Human Rights Tribunal ruled the federal government discriminated against First Nations children by chronically underfunding the welfare system. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
And there's
your employment rights with Lior Samfiru from employmentlawyer.ca.
COVID-19 has forced drastic employment changes on many Canadians in the form of layoffs, pay cuts, reduction in hours, demotions, and work relocation. What most employees don't realize is that your employer does not have a right to make significant changes in terms of employment without your consent.
Yeah. Oh, I had to get the vaccine. I got it, and they said I had to get it. Now they say it's no good. Yeah, well, so I get these are the two stories I just saw last. So we had modeling in this around the beginning of the first week of December. Let's say they said we might have 6,000 to 10,000 cases by the end of December. By December 20, I believe it was 6th. I believe I could be wrong. So with a week left, with 6 days left to go or some shit like that, we were at 18,000 cases. Or what were we at? We were at 18,000 cases the other day. They're reporting 11,000 now, telling us that they're underreporting. That's helpful. And we've had more homicides than days. So it is January the 4th, I guess. Yeah. And we've had 5 homicides, and some of them are very close to here. It's one of those things, like I'm almost numb to it. Like if I almost feel like if I tell people, yeah, there's more shootings and people getting killed around here, like I almost feel like I'm talking too much about it. But I think let's. I gotta edit the title of this somehow. We'll do that in a sec. I got a bunch of links if you go that way. I know we got a bunch of garbage videos on here, and I can't get a straight answer to fix anything from one phone company to another to a website or anything. Although I did, so if you follow along, somewhere down there will be a link to a thing called Internet Radio, which is a very simple app that, as long as it worked great, and it doesn't seem to work now. And the odd thing is that it takes up about 45 megabytes of space. I don't know why. 15 megabyte APK or something like that. The database that it runs off of is radio-browser.info. I better just put that up here. -browser. And this will give you tap. I'm just gonna hit it. See how poofy it looks on the. It looked good when it was wet. No, that phone call aged me about 4 years. I got nothing. I didn't even get an answer to any of my questions. The long story short is I'm getting real close to my download speed. I'm getting nothing close to I'm getting like 1% of the upload speed.
accumulation of a couple of centimeters of snow north of Highway 7.
Okay, we're gonna, let's see. So we got almost 10 minutes to go. Okay, I don't know what's wrong with that, but we're just gonna hit this button here. That might be no, that's one piece, I guess. It's like the Japanese tea ceremony. I gotta show you because it won't happen the same way again. With the click of no felons, no telling what I do to get my fucking cash on, man, show black market lows, get your brass on, fast on my feet, no feds, no chases, no lead, no cases, no blood, no faces, those dead, no traces. You don't wanna try me, no patience, no patience. Headed to the eyes, see you ready to die. Ski mask, gonna identify the holes in the hide, but I find a way to end the life. I don't play so when the knife breaks the skin. You can pray your fucking day, but it ain't no way you make it in. Take away your faith and friends, family, and what's left for unknown assailants. Lays in the slut step, I ain't a suspect. I ain't on the list, I'm a no-face killer. They don't know why you exist. I got my you never live viewer. Once I break them up. Just bear with us. Give us 5 minutes. You're going to hear all the news that you're never going to want to hear. Leaving slabs, snuff the mango, fucking strangle, bringing paper from every angle, leaving veins, cutting tangles, leave a stench, hold my ankles in the back of my side house, don't even got a balance, cause I'm clear up all the caps for now, dead on the scene is clean as teeth red, muzzle tattoo weapons, no police say you gotta be kidding, man. Now who's next to die, the next to be arrested by, the killer leave no witness, so nobody can testify, never arrested by no iPhone, empty my rifles, this the game is Reynolds break, I get no way to survival. I know you ain't gonna try though. Can't reason with the cycle. Get my pose and my pose and my pose when the night falls. Get my dough when I go with gas. All the problems I had today, this wasn't one of them. But just now. Born to carry tricks, born to get me protects, born to make those back out and go back up with the phone man. I'm not a situation, it's a girl. Put my gas back, all the jacks, once again, it's girl. Call the run, want to get the motherfucking. I'm not breaking up more, I'm just doing it. I'm just gonna do it.
A couple of minutes to go here, and kind of a choppy trading day in that we are looking at sliding technology stocks, but rising financials, and that's giving us a bit of a mixed picture when it comes to the main stock benchmark.
An hour ago, you said it was the miners.
By 22 points to 21,245. Yeah, the banks are looking good on day. Bank of Montreal's up 3.5%, above 141 bucks. National is up 3.1%. But the technology group under pressure, Shopify, is down 10.6%. Trading at 1,555. It is higher government bond yields that's helping the banks but hurting the techs. On Wall Street, the Dow's going to close at a fresh record. It's up 232 points to 36,817. General Electric and Coca-Cola both moving higher on analyst upgrades. S&P 500 not doing much at all, up just a fraction of a point. But the Nasdaq is down 194 points. With NVIDIA down 2.6%. Tesla's down 4%. 1,151.
Is that the video card maker?
And Apple's lower. It's down just over 1%. $179 in change right now for Apple.
Wait for it.
All right, big news out of the music world. David Bowie's
it's $3 trillion. $3 trillion. You're not going to mention that.
For a reported $250 million. The deal is between Bowie's estate and Warner Music, and includes songs from 26 studio albums spanning almost 6 decades. including hits like Space Odyssey and Ziggy Stardust and Let's Dance. We've seen a number of these type of deals lately in that companies in the music space have been looking to boost royalties by purchasing back catalogs. It's because the pandemic has delayed the release of new recordings.
Oh, really? Because I thought everybody made music in their home now in front of their computer, and I thought that's what we did now.
Bitcoin up to 46,200.
I thought that's just how it worked now.
Ethereum strengthens more than 3% to 3,818. And the Canadian dollar's up to 78.62 cents US. Hang tight, it's the 4 o'clock top stories just seconds away, right here on City News 680.
It'll actually be several minutes, so don't worry. Several minutes are gonna go by. Fuck, I killed the alarm. I will be trying to. By the way, this is perfectly legal where I live, and these will fucking kill you, so don't do it.
I got my love, there's a major situation, it's a love, there's my cat back, all the tax, once they get you stuff, cause my love, want to cancel with my motherfucking no face mask on, black market, don't get your mask on.
Against COVID-19 is up to all of us. Learn more at ontario.ca/COVID-19. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
Now check out this shit you're gonna get.
Now City News regional weather conditions for SICKLY personal injury lawyers. Have you been seriously injured? Don't put it off. Call SICKLY 416-966-HURT or visit areyouhurt.ca.
Right now, over in Pickering, sunshine, 1 degree, same conditions in Richmond Hill, 0 and sunny in Newmarket, and in downtown Toronto right now, partly cloudy and 2 degrees. City News time at 4 o'clock.
Toronto's #1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is City News 680, everywhere.
Hey, it's Tuesday, January 4th. Good afternoon, I'm Scott Burnett.
It is Tuesday,
Here's
too.
what's making news. Stacey Howard.
Between rising COVID cases and vaccine mandates, several city-run agencies could be affected by staffing shortages.
Including water.
Including the library, which says more than 40 branches will temporarily close next week.
Ontario hospitals are taking steps to deal with increasing hospitalizations and staffing shortages, including putting a pause on all non-urgent surgeries.
Austin Matthews' PCR test came back negative, so he could play against the Oilers tomorrow.
But his rapid test came back positive
for their game tonight. Sports at 15.
Record high close for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. The TSX also strengthens as traders buy financials. Business at 26.
City News time, 4:01.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones at the traffic center.
So there's another guy, athlete, whatever, who's not disclosing his status and somehow got an exemption. And there's all sorts of crazy shit going on. COVID crunch. I was going to write something more there. Let's just leave it at that. Yeah, Toronto Water. Oh, I forgot to put the hours. Oh, well. Did that work? No, see, nothing's working. Damn it.
Fresh out the quick and I'm back to selling west side up in baller with the click of no felons, no telling what I do to get my fucking cash on, mash on, black market lows, get your ass on, fast off my feet, no
My
fast,
screen,
no
there we
chases,
go.
no lead, no cases, no blood, no cases, those dead, no traces. You don't wanna try me, no patience, wrong patience. Headed to the eye, see you ready to die. Ski mask, gonna identify the holes in the hide, gonna find a way to end the life. I don't play so deep and not breaks the skin. You can pray your fucking day, but it ain't no way you'll make it in. Take away your faith and friends, family, and what's left for nothing on assailants. Lacing the slut steps, I ain't a suspect. I ain't on the list, I'm a no-face killer, they don't know.
And the weather report is like useless. It's either going to be minus 10 or plus 1 today. Nobody knows.
You get the picture of the sickest and the spitter ever living, never been the percentage of pussy in me. My family is legendary. Residential school survivors, persistence is necessary. Tried to kill us, you couldn't do it. We're invincible, it's hereditary.
70 kilometers an hour winds where?
City News Time, 4:03.
Just listen, you can hear some.
Outlining his plan to keep the city going as workplaces shut down due to the spread of the Omicron variant. This as health officials estimate when this latest wave will peak.
City's Momin Qureshi joins us live with the very latest. Momin.
Caitlin, it was the first news conference held by Mayor Tory, Dr. Davila, and Chief Peg since the start of the winter break, and also the first time we're hearing from them since the province announced those new restrictions. I asked Mayor Tory about the frustrations people are feeling, considering that so many of us have been following public health advice, getting vaccinated, boosted, wearing masks, even canceling some holiday plans.
I can just say I share the frustration, but that there's also a great frustration in being in these, positions of leadership and trying to keep up with what is a totally unknown, relatively speaking, unknown virus that keeps changing and keeps throwing new curves at us. And I think we're going to continue to do whatever we can to fight back on that, and that's what we'll do here at the City of Toronto.
Dr. Eileen Davila, the city's top doctor, says this Omicron variant is nothing to be trifled with.
A high number of cases and widespread illness can lead to record levels of people being off work due to illness, which also puts at risk the essential services that Torontonians rely on every day. Services like paramedics and fire and water treatment and groceries.
And we already know one of those city-run agencies, the Toronto Public Library, says as of Monday, because of staffing shortages, 44 branches will be temporarily closed. Reporting live, Momin Qureshi, City News.
So let's take a look at those numbers, shall we? The province reporting 11,352 new COVID cases today, along with a spike in hospitalizations. There are currently 1,290 people in hospital across Ontario with due to COVID-19, with the ICU number jumping to 266. We're being warned, though, that the number of people infected with COVID-19, these new case numbers, is most likely higher than what's being reported, as there are limits on testing now. The province is also seeing 10 more deaths today linked to the virus.
City News Time, 4:06. With the Omicron variant spreading at an unprecedented rate, hospitals in Ontario are gearing up to take drastic measures to deal with a large number of patients being hospitalized, as well as staffing shortages. City's
You're looking at thousands of people showing up at the same time.
Caitlin, as of tomorrow, all non-urgent surgeries across the province will be paused to free up space and staff as the Omicron variant is expected to
pause
make
your
more
surgery.
people sick. Other measures include
Just
patients and
are you going to
staff
sew me up or just leave me like this?
Medical Vice President of Ontario Health says staff need to be redeployed to hospital wards dealing with shortages or to help admit other people who are sick with COVID-19. William Osler Health System, which includes Brampton, Civic, and Etobicoke General Hospitals, has declared a code orange. President and CEO Dr. Naveed Mohammed says they're short-staffed.
What we have called is a stage 2 code orange, which is more of an internal code orange to alert our staff to have all hands on deck, to decrease some of the non-urgent work that we're doing, to bring every staff member that possibly can into the hospital.
Some patients will also be transferred to neighboring hospitals to help free up capacity. Those with less acute illnesses who can be seen by a family doctor or an urgent care center are being asked to seek care there. Phil Martino, City.
By the way, if you see any weird links or solicitations in the chat, don't mess with it. And I know some of you will anyway, to fuck with them. I get it, but
what's called a specialized care center.
Nobody no money over the internet.
An
Over these,
overflow location for hospitals and long-term care centers. Right now it has 30 beds, though the Premier's office says it can ramp up to 90 beds. For though not taking questions from the media, this is a photo op only. Meantime, Liberal leader Stephen Del Duca calling on the Premier to do more to make schools safer.
I don't know why it curves to one side.
That's my concern, that they're just going to kind of close the schools and again hope for the best in a couple of weeks, and then we see where we are, instead of making the effort and the investment, which they should be doing right now, because they haven't been doing it now for the past
20 months. Also on the provincial political radar today, I'm told the finance minister is readying some further aid measures for businesses affected by the shutdown that's taking place tomorrow. Richard Southern, City News.
City News time for a later tragic
Hey, you run the marijuana business in this province. Why don't you just send every business like a sample pack for their employees or some shit? A little thing to take the edge off, make their paycheck stretch a little longer, you know, something.
This is a gloomy start.
It's my medicine. I know what fixes my lungs.
Is not the norm to start off the new year. So no, I cannot recall starting off the new year with this many homicides.
Constable Jen Sadu identifies homicide victim number 5 as 39-year-old Giovanni Raimondi, found dead last night on Palace Pier Court. That's near Lakeshore and South Kingsway. She could not comment on this man being arrested in the summer of 2020 in an OPP bust in which about $3.5 million in drugs and contraband cigarettes were seized, but she does say Toronto police need some help to find his killer.
If anyone saw Giovanni on Monday, January the 3rd, between 12 p.m. and 9:30 p.m., if they heard or witnessed anything suspicious, or even to review dash cam video in the area of Palace Pier Court, they are urged to contact police.
The suspected killer in homicide number 2 was arrested last night, not long after the victim was found. 30-year-old Brittany Doff was found with no vital signs at a house on Grace Street last night around Bathurst and College. She was pronounced dead in hospital. Sadu says she and the suspect knew each other, but she won't say how. More information is expected, possibly even later today, about homicide victims.
That's going to be a sad story.
4 of 2022. As you heard right here on City News 680 this morning, 2 men were found shot at a recording studio in Etobicoke on 30th Street near Lakeshore. Photos and details on all these grim stories at citynews.ca. Reporting live, Mark Douglas, City News.
City News acknowledges the land we broadcast from as the ancestral territories of the Anishinaabe, the Wendat, and currently the Haudenosaunee peoples.
And since 1805, the treaty lands of the Mississaugas of the Credit.
This is City News 680. Hey there. Have you set your New Year's
No, it's like they're exploiting a
technical.
Oh, shit, I didn't roll the joint.
2022 could be the year you
So they told us before, amongst other things, they told us that the police had a roadblock or something because they were helping animals cross the road. That is a real traffic report from Toronto. Yeah, Blue Jays, all that. That's not the little Toronto. We know there's like 6 Toronto. The real one, the 416. Every few months, every few weeks, we catch one of these. Oh, the police are helping some geese cross the road. The police are helping a beaver cross the road. Like, there'll be like a beaver, a moose, and a loon crossing the road. And there'll be the cops there serving maple syrup to the drivers. Like, sorry, this is they've already got the Tim Hortons coffee. Just so they already told us Toronto water. They said including Toronto water. Okay, so I didn't hear the whole news release from the city of Toronto. I hadn't been on the phone for that hour. I don't like to complain about the same things everybody complains about. Like, we all have what my brain is fried. 55 minutes on the phone with somebody that for the last 20 minutes wouldn't answer me and wouldn't. They just kept trying to say, "Oh, okay, so we'll order you that now." No, you won't. I'm afraid to hang up the phone until I make sure I get a clear answer that no, I didn't order anything.
Ligature or whatever tied into a neat bow as a signature. And so it was interesting because his last victim on October 27th of 64.
Wait, what?
He actually did not kill her, but she identified him to the cops. They quickly picked him up. I guess they had a rap sheet on him, given that he was the green man, and then he was also the modeling man. But he never was convicted of being the Boston Strangler. Instead, they got him on the rap for being the green man who fondled all those women and sexually assaulted them. But it was his cellmate who blew the whistle on him to the attorney that the cellmate had at the time, a guy named F. Lee Bailey. And we know him. He was part of the dream team for O.J. Simpson, rather well-known, prominent U.S. defense attorney. And so he cut a plea deal for Albert DeSalvo.
I'm sorry, who was?
Who was the Boston Strangler. So as I say, never charged or convicted with those strangulation murders per se, but only for the green man.
Je dirais que ça sonne bien pour un moineau, un drôle de mot.
Did I just get a text message?
D'informations sur la pandémie qui frappe jusque dans les bibliothèques torontoises.
Ben c'est ça, on vient d'apprendre que certaines bibliothèques de Toronto, certaines succursales vont bientôt être obligées de fermer leurs portes. Alors c'est une mesure temporaire, mais 44 des succursales des bibliothèques publiques de Toronto vont être fermées à partir de lundi prochain, donc le 10 janvier, en raison d'une pénurie de personnel. C'est la direction des bibliothèques torontoises qui nous a appris ça, et c'est dû au fait que beaucoup d'employés ont dû s'absenter en lien avec la COVID-19. Alors, il reste que 52 des succursales de bibliothèques les plus grandes et les plus utilisées resteront ouvertes, et le personnel des emplacements fermés sera réaffecté à ces succursales. Ces changements devront permettre aux succursales des bibliothèques de continuer à offrir des services dans toute la ville. Donc les succursales ouvertes vont fonctionner à leur niveau de service actuel, donc avec une limite de capacité de 50%. Les services de bibliobus et de bibliothèques à domicile continuent également à leur niveau de service actuel, et tous les services en ligne évidemment restent disponibles et accessibles de n'importe où, y compris l'accès aux collections numériques, aux programmes en ligne et à Answerline. Les résidents de Toronto de 13 ans et plus qui n'ont pas encore de carte de bibliothèque, il en reste, peuvent s'inscrire pour une carte d'accès numérique en ligne et obtenir immédiatement l'accès pour évidemment des milliers de livres électroniques, de livres audio, de vidéos en streaming et de ressources d'apprentissage. Donc pour savoir si votre branche est ouverte ou fermée, il suffit d'aller sur le site tpl.ca, et vous pouvez toujours vous rendre à la branche la plus proche, évidemment, si celle la plus près de chez vous est fermée.
En vous écoutant, je réalise que depuis 2 ans à la radio, on ne dit que des choses malheureuses. Alors, si j'étais un oiseau comme vous le souhaitiez, Francine, je serais un oiseau de malheur. Je ne suis pas certain que je vais être un oiseau de malheur tant que ça. Grand merci d'avoir été là, Francine.
À plus tard.
Ça manque un peu de soleil en Ontario en général aujourd'hui, alors ça explique qu'on va invoquer le soleil dans la prochaine chanson, un succès souvenir du Sod de Roi, Robert Paquette.
There's all that typing, there's nothing on my screen. What the fuck's going on? Oh, what the?
Une petite goutte de pluie et je m'ennuie. Il y a si longtemps depuis que mes souliers, comme des bons vieux amis, se sont mis à marcher vers l'horizon infini. L'aigle vole si haut, et pourtant pour toi, je n'ai pas de mots. S'il faisait plus beau, peut-être chanterais-je un peu plus haut.
I'm gonna fucking die.
Une bonne bière m'aiderait peut-être.
Ready and things. Kind of looks over and okay, he doesn't think much of it. Maybe she's chirping him, whatever. But he goes home and he tells his wife that this was what somebody had tried to message him behind a bench. Check into it. She looked at it and said, "You know what? It does look irregular. Let's give it a further look and maybe get a second opinion." They did, and they went to actually the trainer, the chief medical officer with the Vancouver Canucks, and he said, "You're right. We got to biopsy this," and they did. And it was malignant. And so, long story short, when Vancouver was playing the Kraken in Seattle, they arranged to meet this young woman. First of all, they put out the call via social media because they didn't know how to contact her. But within an hour, the word got to her and she had reached back, and they had arranged to meet. And it was a real heartfelt moment where he recognized that she had more than likely saved his life. And Vancouver and Seattle, both franchises, ponied up $5,000 apiece, a $10,000 bursary to send her on to medical school. And so she was really taken aback. It was very emotional. I don't know if you caught that between periods in the hockey game, but this eagle-eyed Seattle hockey fan.
Why do we charge money to go to school?
Saved this Canuck staffer's
no,
life,
I mean, like,
like
for certain things, like.
Which leads me to wonder if you've ever been alerted to a serious health concern. You know, a lot of people don't know about it because they can't see these.
High-Lucan health and safety protocol, and they will miss tonight's home game with the San Antonio Spurs. Raptors have a chance to get back to the 500 mark.
I think so the sun sets at
at 7 o'clock.
Like 4:52 p.m. or some shit.
FC will sign Lorenzo Insigne to a 5.5-year deal. The Napoli striker will
I can't believe I knocked that over earlier.
And Novak Djokovic says he will have a chance to defend his
I didn't really lose much.
title this month.
Some of it stuck to my
Djokovic, who
clothes.
has not revealed if he is vaccinated or not, says he has received a medical exemption and will be in Melbourne. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime at sportsnet.ca.
Hi, Pam Friedman here. Every year, Steve and I look forward to the holiday season, and especially to our great Chesterfield Shop Boxing Week sale. It's the best time of the year to visit us.
I think it's 5 a.m. in Beijing.
Sofa beds, sectionals, chairs, and recliner seating in leathers
And 10 p.m. in Kinshasa.
I'm not saying necessarily in a salacious way, but this is something that might have actually been brought to your attention, where otherwise you might have been A, in denial or just not recognized such. But, you know, who knows?
Well,
even
that's
sometimes
you can sort of see these plans there.
Finds
I agree.
The broker, I guess, might in this instant be your best friend. 870-6400 or a barber. A barber might have noticed something on the back of your scalp. Can we get a witness here on a couple of cases or two where this might have happened? Because I thought this was a hard.
Yeah, I got like a mole or something there. And I swear, every barber that's ever taken clippers to the back of my head, oh, you got a bump there. Like it's going to go away if they hit it with the razor enough times. And no, don't look at the razor manufacturers like they did something wrong. It's because they're fucking trying. The old ones, I swear, had the metal grate, like it looked like the front of a locomotive. I don't go to barbers anymore. That and I witnessed. I'm a child witness to suicide, so I guess this video will get locked down to age appropriate only or whatever. But that happened at a barber shop for children, and then I don't recall going to a barber after that for a haircut ever. Maybe once or twice. Like somebody paid me $10 to get my haircut once or something. In a group home or some shit. Okay, so I have more sources of radio news and information. If I grab that little speaker, it's a lot easier to work with than doing it on the same. I like being able to do it on the same device. I think that's interesting. But you do these alternating business reports, 26 and 56 minutes. How about I just press play here while I figure out what I'm doing? And that didn't work.
By the looks of you, you wouldn't do any. I'm not a fan of you, but you'll be looking too friendly. Smack the fool from out the back of you trying to disrespect me. I will tell you that your rent is past due by your few centuries. Fucking stats. Disrespectful whenever
10 words. 10 words. How simple is that?
You get the picture of the sickest indigenous spitter.
Okay, it's not a high cue. It's not a high cue.
My family is legendary. Residential school survivors, persistence is necessary. Tried to kill us, you couldn't do it. We're invincible, it's hereditary. And by the looks of you, you wouldn't do any. I'm not a fan of you if you be looking too friendly. Smack the fool from out the back of you tried to disrespect me. I will tell you that your rent is past due by a few centuries. Fucking statues, fucking new Bentley. We've been hungry on the rest, trying to make our 4 cents, but we short 2 pennies. Yeah, my mood is edgy, I'm hungry. Somebody told me that my food was ready. Yo, who the fuck do I gotta prove to that I shoot too deadly? Since a papoose, I've been cuckoo. Who you wanna push? I move too steady. It's that boom bap flow. Call me Blues Cap Kenny. It's that Tupac and sitting bull in the room full of bitches in the nude sipping Henny. I've been in the woods with my do-rag sweating. I got my Muscat ready. I'm out here hunting in this bitch. I do that heavy, and if you ain't from the rest, there ain't nothing you can tell me. I got a screw loose, but you knew that already. Got to get that dough like I used to at daycare. Fuck trying to play fair. I can just construct another way to make my paper. I'm getting great at my craft. I've been amazing at draft since 97 and 87. I got arrived. I told my homie that we would make it before we die. And then I lost him to suicide. It was a shock in my body, but I'm alright. I made him a promise that we would be the greatest that ever did it. So tonight, all you motherfuckers are gotta die. I'm hoping these above, watching the bodies that I've been piling up. This is survival of the fittest. I'm conditioned for anything. Native overqualified. Try and play me. I'm like Muhammad Ali in his prime. You sleep on me or dream of beating me. You better fucking wake up and apologize. Wanna whip me? You can holler on or off the mic. I'm a product of the Wabanaki tribe. I cannot be copied. I am one of one. I don't think you want a problem with me, son. Get the skinning and the scalping and I'm done. No emotion on my face, not even one. I'm the chief of these lands here. Tell Anna Green Gables she needs a pap smear. Kill the damn deer with my fucking bare hands last year. This is res life living. Get some liquor and get stabbed here.
Everything's going out.
Why don't we get into this health concern that, some people may actually not have been aware of. And in fact, if others alert you to it, as was the case with the Seattle Kraken.
Gears moving, details in the story and much more coming up straight ahead.
I'm here with Bill Coy of Coy Brothers, and we're talking about Italian gelato. So delicioso.
I think your brain is frozen. We were talking about the Italian-made Vigneri wheel loaders and how they're great for snow removal.
I can't get much pasta, you, Bill.
What a meatball. Vigneri makes a top-quality loader at a great price. These Italian-made machines can easily tackle our tough Canadian winters.
No kidding. Check out Vigneri loaders at Coy Brothers.
K-O-O-Y.
Lamborghini makes fucking tractors.
And don't forget to bring your wallet.
Listen 3, 4, 5 times a day.
So maybe.
City News 680 everywhere. City News time is 4:25. It's another day of misery for American air travelers.
Already today, about 1,400 flights have been canceled in the U.S., and that number is growing by the minute. One day after canceling over 600 flights, Southwest is again leading the airlines for most canceled flights. So far, canceling about 400 flights today. Reagan National and Baltimore are the U.S. airports with the most canceled flights, a result of storms that moved through in recent days and continued COVID sick calls at the airlines. Alex Stone, ABC News.
In just 60 seconds, we'll check in with Richard Southern at the City News Business Center. City News time, 4:25.
If cancer were a place,
Velcro,
nearly the entire population of Kitchener would be diagnosed every year.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about
Right
it.
now, one Canadian hears it's cancer every 3 minutes.
I'm aware.
The researchers funded by the Canadian
Like a half
Cancer
hour of my
Society
life
now
took
know
up, eh?
cancer
Wow.
isn't one, but more than one.
J'ai été presque là-dessus.
C'est à défaut de la personne qui est choquée en français, je pense une chose qui est importante et qui c'est très faisable, c'est de au moins modifier la loi sur l'ombudsman pour que l'ombudsman, la personne qui est chargée d'administrer la loi sur la française, de surveiller son application, soit une personne obligatoirement bilingue. En ce moment, M. Dubé l'est, mais il n'y a rien qui nous assure que son successeur le sera également.
Ben, il y avait plein de constructifs dans ce que vous apportez à la réflexion. Maître François Larocque, vous êtes professeur et titulaire de la chaire de recherche sur la francophonie canadienne en droit et enjeux linguistiques à l'Université d'Ottawa. Grand merci d'avoir pris du temps pour nous aujourd'hui.
Ça fait grand plaisir. Au revoir.
Félix nous le disait en début d'heure, c'est la fête des 59 ans du chanteur français Thomas.
So I go every 6 months and they look at them as if they're regular. So
in a holster. Well, those days ended for many of us years ago, but they're ending for everyone today. BlackBerry says models that use the company's old operating system may not work as of today. Nick Waddell is editor of CanTechLetter.com.
This feels about the 15th time we've mourned the death of BlackBerry, but yeah, the support for the company's legacy devices is ending today.
Nortel Networks, Avro Aero.
People out there using the legacy devices.
Yeah, there no doubt are. And I guess, when you talk about the end of BlackBerry phones, it was really Apple and the iPhone that did them in, right?
Apple was really the death knell for BlackBerry. You can still get a physical keyboard on a BlackBerry, and that's what kept most people coming back. And this does not apply to yet to the company's Android devices. So if you have an Evolve or an Evolve X or a Key 2 or a Key 1, those are still going to work. But the ultra legacy devices, the ones with the trackballs and everything like that, those aren't going to work as of tomorrow.
Stock in the company.
Those are wheel.
Down 5 pennies today at $11.87. The TF
we don't have
managed a gain, but not a very big one. It was up 13 points to 21,236. The story today on both the Toronto and New York stock markets was rising financials, but falling technology stock.
He said mining stocks were up. Okay, did that start and stop? I'm just gonna finish this half of the first one I started it. No, see, there's more. I know there's more that I'm forgetting to mention that we haven't got to yet. And I gotta remember what stations I was pulling in before to pull up on the phone after.
Welcome to Big Ma Matters, a podcast about Big Ma people, politics, land, and water.
Your timing is horrible, Bridger. Check that out, of course. The links are down there somewhere. The SoundCloud links.
You're now about to witness the strength of street knowledge. Like we always do around this time. Stats and data. One of the fabulous. Let's go.
Like 50, I don't back down. Looking for me, gun up with the head down. Guns in the booth when I back now. No fair ones if they get wild.
It's metric, but I can't handle metric.
Whatever I want, whatever I do, whatever I see, whatever I...
Holy fuck, man. What is up with the... You fucking kidding me? Can you fucking kill more of my fucking 2 minutes that I have here? Like, fucking hell, can you all fuck off and get off my fucking network? Jesus Christ. We literally just took 2 fucking minutes and we cannot...
The city is doing what it can to get the latest wave, which won't be through until next month.
Jesus Christ. How many times are you going to do that?
Will be put on hold as
You're hilarious.
Trippz space and staff members, as the Omicron variant is expected to make even more people sick.
2022 was only 4 days old, and 105 people in Toronto have been killed. Police identify some victims.
Black and green, black and green, black and green,
We know, we don't care. You're not a hacker, bro. Jesus Christ. Yes, freeze it up every time I try to show. Do you even want to see your handiwork, bro? You're pathetic at this. You're not a hacker. You're not a hacker. You're not a hacker. Up and down and up and down and up and down. We know. We know. You got to think about the half-hour mark for some reason. You completely misinterpret everything we say. Are you fucking done? Jesus Christ. The most harassed stream on the interwebs, I'm sure of it.
Black and green,
and remember, after this one, I got this one. So please, keep attacking the fucking stream, bro. Keep attacking it. It's ridiculously fucking
shit, flushing in location. Let it bang shit, let your colors hang shit. On that great shit, chopper spit and flame shit. Know you hate shit, know you mad today, bitch. We done made it, off the block we skated. Massachusetts, made its way to New York State. Puzzle piece game, we can take this whole country. 1 block at a time, bricks in half, quarters down. Flip it 1 more time, stacking paper, godless crime. Facts like shit, you dealt with them the real quick. Extra clips, plastic build up 10. Black bandana, black and green bandana. Black bandana, black and green bandana. Black bandana, black and green bandana. bandana, black bandana, black and green bandana, black bandana, black bandana, black and green, black bandana, black bandana, black and green, black bandana, black bandana, black and green, black bandana, black bandana, black and green.
Tony Montana, we ain't got jack shit on us. Throw up children in the car because we give no fuck. Grow up your flag, grow up your signs and represent. We with the crew, then KT guns slit your neck. We dangerous like Buster Bus in 97. They aiming for so you wanna stay with your heaven.
This wave is expected to peak.
Meantime, Mayor John Tory and his team are providing an update into their next steps to keep this city moving. Our Moment Qureshi has more moment.
Yeah, based on where the how the Omicron variant is affecting Toronto and what that means for you and me. Dr. Eileen Davila says this variant is not one to be trifled with.
And even though only a small percentage of those cases have severe disease, we are already seeing an impact on our healthcare system through increased hospitalizations for COVID.
Davila believes we won't see the peak of this variant for another 4 to 6 weeks. That takes us into next month. She also says that because the variant is spreading quickly and is more transmissible, that could affect some of the city services because of staffing shortages. And we already know that the Toronto Public Library has stepped up and said because of those staffing shortages, 44 of its branches will temporarily close as of Monday. Here's Mayor Tory.
To work out something that is commensurate with our abilities to continue to provide services, again, as we're doing everywhere else, but at the same time taking account of some of the stresses and strains that are upon us with respect to people who are off work because of illness or because of COVID-related circumstances they face.
You can get more of the details from today's lengthy news conference at toronto.citynews.ca. Reporting live, Moment Qureshi, City News.
Ontario health officials out with the latest COVID figures, reporting 11,352 new cases. 1,290 people require hospitalization. 266 people are in intensive care, bringing the 7-day rolling average of ICU patients to 221. Another 10 virus-related deaths also reported today. However, health officials have warned those figures are only estimates, as a testing backlog likely underreports the true numbers.
Starting tomorrow, all non-urgent surgeries here in Ontario will be paused to free up space and staff as the Omicron variant is expected to make even more people sick. Our Phil Martino is following that story and joins us live. Phil.
Scott, with the Omicron variant spreading at an unprecedented rate, hospitals in this province are gearing up to take drastic measures to deal with the large number of patients being hospitalized and staffing shortages. They include putting non-urgent surgeries on pause and patient and staff transfers. According to Chris Simpson, Medical Vice President of Ontario Health, staff need to be redeployed to hospital wards dealing with shortages or to help admit people who are sick with COVID-19. Dr. Naveed Mohammed, President and CEO of William Osler Health System, which includes Brampton, Civic, and Etobicoke General Hospital, says they're short-staffed and have declared a code orange. But he says if you have an emergency and you feel you need to be seen right away, you can go to these hospitals.
If you need to be admitted, we will admit you. You may not get admitted to the site that you're at. We may transfer you to one of our other sites, but we will take care of you. The message is more for the less acute folks. If you feel that you can be seen by a family doctor, a walk-in clinic, an urgent care center, then please seek care there.
According to Ontario Health, fewer people are experiencing COVID pneumonia during the Omicron wave, but many are being hospitalized for short stays or with chronic illnesses worsened by COVID-19 infection.
That's why I did these days.
City News Time, 4:36. Premier Ford touring a hospital overflow location today. City's Richard Sutter has the latest for Queen's Park.
Underscoring the situation that could be facing hospitals, Premier Ford today is touring a hospital overflow center. It's called the Specialized Care Center. Has just 30 beds right now, though it can be ramped up to 90. It's just a photo op, mind you. The Premier not taking
I'm being reminded of North Korea and Russia.
The opposition certainly speaking out. Stephen Del Duca, the Liberal leader, says Premier Ford should be doing more for child care centers, like providing appropriate PPE.
Both for those who work in daycares, but also those who go to daycares would be in place, and that's something that's so critically important. Secondly, this idea that we shouldn't be reporting positive cases in both daycares and schools, to me, again, is
just something that makes no sense whatsoever. I would reverse that decision today.
And when it comes to the businesses that will be affected by the renewed shutdown tomorrow, I'm told the Finance Ministry is preparing some new support measures for those businesses. Richard, Southern City News.
City News time at 4:37. In an ominous start to 2022,
That's the area code here now.
investigating 5 homicides just 4 days into the new year. Our Mark Douglas joins us live.